Hey, what's up, everybody? 44 coming at you with another video. I was showing y'all the car, accidentally hit the stop button instead of the flip camera back button. So, as usual, we got fragmented therapy sessions. But yeah, I'm feeling hot. As I was telling y'all right before I walked past that awesome vehicle, and you know, just trying to get my my mind focused on what needs to happen all week. I was in the middle of telling y'all what my week is like and what's coming up, but you know, it's just the interview for that GR program stuff is tomorrow, general release. So they will be calling me at some point in time in the morning and interviewing me to see if I qualify for that. And then I got a bill due tomorrow that I'm gonna pay. So this is a lot of stuff that you have on your mind at once. Realizing now that my family had helped me with what they helped me, how to budget that, what I need a lot, and I'm not trying to buy everything I need at once, you know, that kind of thing. So it's just a lot on my mind and my plate, coupled with all that I'm trying to do artistically with this channel, with playlists, trying to, you know, promote all the art that I do. It's just been a whole lot to deal with for me over the last, say, 3 months, and especially over this last couple of weeks. And so, as I was telling y'all before the camera cut off, tomorrow's the turn of the month, August. It's my birthday month. Gonna be turning 39 on the 18th. And I think it's a good chance the sheriffs may show up tomorrow if they are inclined to do so, to start the month off with this process coming to a conclusion, which is something that I don't know if they would incline to be doing or not. It can come at any time, but you just figure when another month is going by, you gave me a whole month, you know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate that month. And within that month, I was able to do some things that put myself in a position to ultimately get the things that I need. And so what I'm doing is waiting for those things to kind of manifest and asking the Lord for direction while I wait. So that's what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. You know, just trying to get my head on the idea of what needs to happen in order for me to keep on working on what I need to work on. And in doing so, finding myself, you know, just being easy on myself in ways I need to be so that I can keep my mental health being positive. And learning right now that it's okay to have new routines that still have yet to be worked into the everyday equation, like this walking. As I told you guys on one of my random therapy sessions walking down the street a month and a half ago or so, you now having new things to apply to your regular life may make it so that you have some times where you fall off that wagon. This walking is a prime example of that for me. And it's, of course, one of those running themes for this channel. You don't have to be hard on yourself about not staying consistent at the beginning of your process of becoming consistent. You just got to make sure that you be willing to come back and then add on to that sooner than maybe you did in the last previous wait or rest or whatever it is, hiatus that you had between the last time you were supposed to do whatever it is that you may have should have done. At the end of the day, you now have the new routine. So for me, it's like, it's not the same as me first going back outside and saying, okay, let me step out, see if I want to walk down the street and do it. I went through a whole month and a half where I was going out every day, and then had a week where I just didn't go out at all. But now I have the idea that, yo, this practice is in my life right now. Now I can start it again, as opposed to it being the very first time. So that's what it's about. It's like, that's what this is. It wasn't nearly as hard to get up and get out this house today as it was the first time I did this 2 months ago or whatever it was. It ain't nearly as hard. Even though I feel like I've been slacking, the muscle memory, so to speak, is there. The practice is in place. I have started something that can become more consistent. So this probably applies more so to working out probably than anything else. And of course, if you already heard this conversation, so have I, because I said it. In fact, it was probably the last conversation we had when I was walking outside. But just pick up the pace and keep back at it. I think that's what it is about. It's like, all right, well, it's been about a week since I walked, but I could come back out here tomorrow. You know what I mean? And that consistency, that applied consistency, is what ultimately will get you to being in a space where you can do it without even thinking about it in this everyday thing. You know, that comes from identifying that you've already been through what I call Hell Week, the first hardest process of getting through it and making it something that you now know how to do. That first week, you got to get through that. Once you get through that, now you can apply what you went through on Hell Week some other weeks down the road. And it may feel like hell, but it won't be the first time you did it. And that will make it easier to start it up and keep it going. I feel the same way about jogging. I haven't jogged regularly in, truthfully, probably like 10 years. But I have no doubt that my body will love jogging. And if I start jogging now, it won't take but 3 weeks for me to feel as good as I did back then when I was into it. And it's because of not only the muscle memory, but because I was consistent with it back then so much that consistency lasted for such a length of a time to where my body likes that. I did it for like 2 years straight. You know what I mean? And then just stopped for 10 years. My body loves it and it wants to do it again. And so these are the type of things that are examples. And you start those processes and you can pick them back up again. And so, yeah, man, that's that thought. What else do I have on my mind? Besides how hot it is, not a whole lot. But yeah, this is therapy session. I want to feel good about going. I want to feel good about getting on the bus. I want to feel good as I feel right now walking down the street. And I don't think I have a problem doing that because I feel great right now walking down the street. And that's what this is all about. It's about training that mind, that anxious mind, with new applied consistency. Positive thinking. I think it's easier for me to be positive in my head more and more. More and more I find myself, you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job, that kind of stuff. More and more, it's getting easier. And when I was a young person, a child, I would never hear them words. Never. 0% of the time I hear anything like that in my head. But at this point, yeah, I'm hearing it all day long. And that's what gives me the idea, and as I was saying in the first half of this, that maybe I was giving myself passes where I shouldn't be. Because them thoughts was getting a little too kind. It's like, yo, are we still here? Are we still trying? Like, but it just becomes a situation where you got to recognize what the Lord looks like inside of your heart when you've let him in. It ain't going to be a situation where you're cussing yourself out all day long about what you haven't done. You're going to be promoting what within yourself, the ability to do that. Because now you've let that third party in, or that second party in your head, to provide you the positivity and the belief that what otherwise is difficult can be incrementally done. Slow but surely, or however it goes, you can. Because there's nothing that this entity that you are applying that faith into can't help you accomplish. And that's what the belief is. That's what the overwhelming religious mindset, I think, is all about. It's about believing that something greater than you is in place, working with you so that you can do what otherwise isn't that easy to do, or even impossible, or whatever. Whether it be absorbing truths that are hard to deal with and moving on, or applying yourself to be a little bit stronger in a moment where you have to get a little more energy to do something, or endure a little harder, whatever. That's what the God variable does. It gives you the belief that otherwise you can defy what is in front of you. And maybe it's necessary not to, and that too can be the strength that deity provides. And so that's ultimately what I'm having in my head, I guess, applied is more and more prayer and meditation turns into more and more kindness in my own head, turns into more and more belief that I can do more and a more applied effort, which can turn into that consistency, into those results that we ultimately are hopeful to see. And that is exactly what this is about. My channel, my art, what my mother told me. Repetition is key. You want anything bad enough, you work for it, and you will do it enough times to make yourself as good as you need to be to have it, or be whatever. You know how that goes. The point is, you do it enough, and you apply enough consistency, and eventually improvement is imminent. And so that's what I tell people. And maybe it's difficult to find improvement, but it's not impossible. You just haven't done it enough times yet. Maybe you have to do it 1,000,001 times. But the point is, applied consistency will give you that familiarity, which will provide you so much in regards to that, whatever it is. So that's what I'm here to share, man. I want people to keep trying. I can't tell you how many times over the last month where I woke up in a moment, or rather, not woke up, but found myself just in a moment, kind of just stuck in a moment that really felt like trash to me, whether it be just waiting on something or just in the deep stressful moment or just whatever it is. Having a moment where you feel like you're gonna break, feel like you won't quit, feel like you want to whatever the heck it is, crash out, whatever it is. And you get to those moments, you got to get through those moments so that you can get to anything that's good in this world. Anything. If you like your greatest moment in life, the barbecue that you had with your family last week, going to Barbados in August, whatever it is that you do, playing basketball with your buddies, applying yourself to something that makes you happy, any random position that you would otherwise have in life is never going to happen if you crash out in these random moments that feel like too much. And I can't tell you how many of those I've had over the course of just a couple of weeks, just dealing with what I've dealt with. Over the last course of a couple of weeks, I felt like that at least 3 or 4 times where I'm like, man, I just do not want to go forward. But I tell you, those are the moments that are most rewarding to get through, because once you do, you realize that there's a lot of good times that are coming after that. Maybe some bad ones too, but like a lot of good ones that are worth living through. And so that's what it's about. It's about realizing that some of them bad moments are meant to just rob you of those good moments that you want very bad. You may not know you want them very bad when you're thinking about what they did or what you need to do or just I'm tired or whatever it is. But if you just get through that moment, and I believe the God variable helps with that, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to experience 20 more good moments some point in time down the road, so long as you get good at surviving those moments. And that's what it's about, getting good at surviving those moments. When you're sitting there just saying, I got enough, I had enough, I can't do it. Those are the moments you want to overcome. You got to be able to see those good moments past the bad moments you're in. See those good moments, fathom those good moments, and dare I say, pray for those moments in those moments. Like, God, I want to be here because at this moment, I'm going through a moment where I want to quit. This moment is the moment where I think it's time to do something that I have no business doing that's going to derail my life forever. And if I can get through this moment without doing that thing, the possibilities of me enjoying many moments because of it is worth not doing this. And so that's what I want to say to people. It don't have to be limited to unaliving yourselves or taking some type of drug that'll get you into a space where you know the risk is not worth it, or whatever it is that your choice would be, that you know is going to crash you all the way out. Limited to nothing, whatever yours is. That's the moment that you got to get through. And then these are the times that you got to be able to believe are going to happen for you to do it. And that's the thing. It's like when you have horrible circumstances ahead of you and you can't see nothing but jail time, or you can't see nothing but having to run all your life, or if you can't see nothing but the worst of things, you may not be able to fathom at all or imagine at all a good moment worth living. And I could definitely see moments like that in your life. And look, this is not for those who snap. If you snap, then you're not in control with that. Your mind just broke. That's not about this. It's about those who are cognizant enough to either do or not do. Those are the ones that this would apply to, not the ill, so to speak. But let God in. Let Him guide you on how to treat you, how to get you through those moments, how to feel what you need to feel so that you can get through this alive. And let those moments come in. Let those moments come in. There's some people who have been through some things that they thought they couldn't survive. And in the process of not being able to survive those things in their mind, they end up having to go through whatever it is they thought they couldn't survive, and then be proven that there was a good day to have within those circumstances too, once they had to go through them circumstances and live enough days in them circumstances. There was actually a good day in jail worth living. There was actually a good day in that circumstance, whatever that was, that they actually like. They hate their job, yes, but that day they met their best friend. The job was crap, but the person that they met there, they made millions together. Like, these are the things that we like, yo, if we don't ever allow ourselves to just get through some of these moments that make us worse, we ain't never gonna have none of them variables. If we can't just allow ourselves to just let the unknown just be whatever the hell it's gonna be, you can't fathom some of the variables that the Lord will allow to the circumstances to make it so that you are all right, despite what it looks like on paper. I've seen it already. I'm living it right now. It looked terrible on paper, but yet I've been able to do things that I need to do to get my life right, for my circumstance to get better. And even though things are not where they need to be, and even though it took something like this to get me where I needed to have my mind set on what needs to be done to get to that space, all of it's still all right, because at the end of the day, God's got my back. And because I believe that, I get to go forward without some of those negative thoughts trying to coerce me into actually quitting, when it actually makes sense too in certain situations, except for the fact that, yo, there's a possibility of this, and this being good despite the circumstances being crap. And some of the things that you think you can't survive through will coerce you into the best days of your life, just because that's the path. That's literally the path to get there. They're like, bro, but I'm gonna lose this, and this. Yeah, but if you could see where it is on the end, you wouldn't have it no other way. You wouldn't have it no other way. How many times I've heard people, I ain't even gonna go into my own life, forget my own life in this one. How many times I've heard people say that the worst stuff they went through gave them the most reward, and they wouldn't change anything about it, nothing. Even though it was torturous, it was hard, they went through all that. They wouldn't change a thing, because what came of it not only was worth it, but who they became because of what it is that they went through made them better. So it was like, yeah, I don't need to be that person who feared that thing, because that person was a worse version of me. Now that I don't fear that thing because I went through that thing, I'm a better me. Well, I want to quit. That gave me the best reward. You see what I'm saying? It gave me the best reward. And so that's what I say to you. Don't allow the things that provide you the best reward to go by the wayside because of your fears, when you're weaker right now for not yet going through what it is you're going to go through. You're weaker right now for not yet experiencing what it is that you're ultimately going to make you better. And if you quit before you get a chance to do that, guess what you're not going to be? In a space where you feel like what you're about to go through is worth it. That's the wisdom of that. The harder path, the more difficult path provides you the better reward and made you the better person. Made you the stronger human. And the person that was afraid of going through that needed to go through that so they could become who it is that you need to become when you go through what it is you're going to go through, which is going to be a lot more difficult if for not the trial that you're going to go through that's going to make you better. Fear will tell you need to avoid what makes you better at all cost. That's pretty much the thought. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching.